Yeah, before I ended up getting hurt, like before I went to the National Training Center in Fort Irwin, California, for my third deployment I was supposed to go on, I actually had already signed up for mountain warfare, which is basically our equivalent of cold weather because you go to Fort Drum, New York in the winter.
That's
And
where it happened.
That's where that fucking happened.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, we
Drum
have
is fucking miserable.
10th Mountain
Division is what we have for our winter shit, basically. I signed up for that and Jungle Warfare. I signed up for both because I knew I wasn't going to get one of them. But then I ended up getting the fucking injury, and they're like, "Yeah, bro, listen, we stuck a tube in your fucking head. You're not serving anymore. Like, you're done, dude." I'm like, "Dude, what the fuck? I feel fine." And they're like, "Okay, read this," and I'm like, I can't read. And they're like, "Yeah, you're fucked up in the head, bro. You're fucking going home.
Read,
you're
bro.
done. You can't even read. You're 22 years old. You can't even fucking read." And I'm like,
No, literally.
I can still do my job though. And they're like, "You can't fucking read. You can't even write. You can't." So
drive.
they're like, bro, your brain is fucked up. You're going home. We'll pay for it. No mountain school." And I'm like, "But I'm aerosol qualified." And they're like, no, go home. And I'm like, I was so fucking sad, dude. That's when I got into my biggest depression because I lost my career. I'd only planned on doing the army, but I got fucked up in the dumbest way possible. I do.
Yes.
You survived 2 combat deployments just to get fucked up in training in California.
Yes.
Are you fucking? That's why I hate California.
That's
I hate
how
California.
it goes, man. Yeah, me too, bro.
It's so stupid, bro.
Dude, that's how it goes. Like, it's always dumb shit like that. Like, I mean, I always like from like adolescence, like as a fucking child, like elementary school, bro. That's all I wanted to do. And now it's like they're like, yeah, no, you're fucking useless. But like, there's this whole process of getting you out. Like, blah blah blah. We're gonna transfer you to fucking headquarters, and you're just gonna sit there and do nothing. Like, I'm literally my first sergeant's clerk. He's never asked me to do a single fucking thing for like
that's what it was like for me.
A year.
But
yeah,
because I got sergeant as I was being med boarded because it took like a year, almost a year, I'd say. So they gave me sergeant, and I was in charge of all these new guys coming out of AIT. But I was so fucking like depressed. I would do anything just to get my mind off of it, and if that meant training the new guys, I would. And I made a lot of friends that way.
I don't. That's what I'm saying. Like, I don't mind like whenever we get like new joins and shit. Like, I don't mind like running them over some like stupid basic shit. But like after like 2 years, bro, like, oh my god, dude, they actually like I want to kill them, you know?
Yeah. The thing is, like, so as a specialist, as an E4, I was a corporal for 2 months, but that doesn't really matter in the army. Corporal doesn't really come up that much unless you're like down an NCO,
like really
down
specific.
a sergeant.
Yeah, literally.
Which we were for 2 months, and then I went back to being a specialist. But all my guys went back to Korea on a rotation, not a station, because I was stationed there for the first time. Like, I actually lived there, but they left to do that. I was on med board status, so I couldn't leave, and I was the highest senior position that didn't have like a job already. So all the other NCOs on rear detachment, they had the position, and I was a specialist that was a truck master, and truck master is for like master sergeants, E8. So that was the wildest shit, because they're like, hey, you have everything to be an NCO, you have all the points and all the credentials and shit, you're just not an NCO. But every other NCO on rear detachment already has a job. You're a truck master. And I'm like, what the fuck? And you're like, yeah, congratulations on your lateral promotion, master specialist. And I'm like, what the fuck you mean master specialist?
Yikes.
And that's when I found out that master specialist is a position within a rank. So I was doing the job of an E8 as an E4 out of necessity. And that's when I started to develop like the leadership mentality, because it kept my mind off of the fact that I was losing my career. And then also I knew at some point they're just going to make me a sergeant, even though I tried to sabotage it. They still made me a sergeant, and I was still truck master. And it was wild. Anytime like other units, especially from the Marines or whatnot, like to the Marine Reserves over in El Paso, And they'd come in and they would walk out to me and they'd be like, "Specialist, where's your truck master?" And I'd be like,
I am the truck master.
I am the truck master.
he's like, "How the fuck are you a truck master? You're a fucking E4." And I'm like,
Yeah, literally.
"Talk to my
No,
commander,
that's
don't
kinda
talk to
how it-
me."
That's how it goes, man. Though, like when you get like bare bones, man, like nobody's around, everybody retired, or just fucking straight up left. You know,
Oh, and the
Like,
funny
I
thing
remember-
was, like,
being a squad leader as a fucking.
yeah, dude,
I was a private first class.
Oh yeah, that's your guys' E2. That keeps fucking me up because that's
Yeah.
our E3.
Yep.
Because our E2 was
Yeah.
private second class. So
yikes. You're a
Must be
second-
nice being
Yo, bro,
called private in fucking
you
boot
ain't
camp
just-
and not bitch.
Oh no, we get
no, and when you're like when you go into basic training for the army, it like there's people that can go in as like you have like a college or degree or whatever. You can go in as like a E4 or whatever. When you're in training,
what the fuck?
you're
No,
No,
you're an E2 in the
E4.
Marine Corps. I don't care if you have a bachelor's degree.
Well, no.
that's the thing. Like so, these guys once they get into the units, they're guaranteed their rank because they have a bachelor's degree or whatever. But when you're in basic training, that rank doesn't fucking matter. You're not private. You're not fucking recruit. You're not fucking specialist or private first class. You're fuckface, dipshit, failed abortion, cancer.
Hell yeah,
etc.
Hell yeah.
That's
dude.
that's how they
Good to
like.
know.
I told this in my Discord server with these other guys, but I gotta get you in that too if you have a Discord. But
Oh, absolutely.
I will never forget what Drill Sergeant Jones told me one time. He said, "White, you are so fucking useless. You would be more useful as an abortion because then you could have been used for stem cell research."
Yeah, literally. I'm like, damn, bro.
Oh shit, I've been here for 3 days, dude. Why are you on my ass like that?
Dude, one of my drill instructors fucking hated us, dude. Like, hated us. And I remember it was like our fucking graduation day. And we're like, all marching out. We got our uniforms on. We're about to fucking graduate. We're about to leave. And he's just like, I fucking hate all of you. You are the most retarded motherfuckers I've ever fucking met. Like, literally,
Yeah.
do not bring your disgusting fucking families on my fucking, like, in my squad bay. Like, do not fucking bring them in here. Like, just go fuck yourself. Bye.
Dude.
No handshake. No nothing.
I have
A great fucking story about that shit. About because you hear rumors when you're in training from people like, oh, it gets better when you get to this week, or it gets better when you get to that week, or like things
No,
change.
yeah.
No, it doesn't.
yeah.
It doesn't change. To day one to day zero, or to like the end of the fucking training, they hated our guts and all that fucking bullshit. It was fucking amazing. I loved it, and I wish people would experience it more. But
So
drill sergeants in
Wait,
the
wait,
army
wait, wait.
serve as drill sergeants for 3 years. What?
Yeah, so it's the same with the Marine Corps. But, like, do you guys get the weekends, like, not off, but, like, are they not considered training days? Like, how does that work in the army?
no,
7 days a week. It's all training. If you're on
Yeah.
Sundays, it's not it's like not physical shit, but you're in the classroom all day Sunday, and then
yeah.
on Monday you go back to
'Cause
physical training. But we don't get days
Yeah,
off
so
at all. We don't get weekends.
Sunday was, like, church in the morning, or whatever the fuck you believe in or don't. They were just basically like, hey, I don't care if you don't believe in anything, you better go to one of the fucking services because I don't want to have to sit here. You know?
Yeah,
So you would just go,
exactly
so
what
you
it was
don't-
like for us. Yeah,
Yeah, so you don't get murdered, basically. But, like,
yeah. On
On Sundays, you still wake up at 04 and you still do PT on
Yep.
Sundays in basic. And
Yeah.
then you have 2 hours to do your laundry, write letters, go to church,
Oh,
whatever.
what?
And then
Dude,
as
you
soon as
did-
that's
you
up,
guys did your own laundry?
yeah, we had to. It was our
No,
responsibility.
we fucking. Yeah, no, we would drop them off at, like, this civilian fucking place, and they would fucking do
Oh, yeah.
our laundry.
Yeah, no,
Every soldier has to do their own shit. We never got
Nah,
anybody to
dude,
do
I
it
wish
for
it
us.
was that way, because, like, the amount of times they would send it back to us and they would leave a note and be like, this shit's too dirty to put in our machines. We don't want to break them. Like, you know, because it would have
bro,
so much
we
sand
were the
and
ones
dirt.
that had to clear out.
out. We're the ones that had to literally
Yeah,
disconnect the fucking washer, take it outside, and dump out the fucking sand. That was our job.
No, but dude, like I kind of like miss it because we were looking at like all this shit because every once in a while we'd be like just walking around like the base and like marine bases are like old as fuck, right? And like
Shit,
you
army
can
bases are
clearly
much
see
fucking
where
better.
they used to do. Yeah, no, it's all steam powered. It's all fucking bubble. You know, it's old, right? And like you see like all these like this old shit, and it's like these got clothespins, clotheslines, fucking like all this shit, and like you can see where they did laundry, where it's like this big fucking like bench and like a big fucking table where it has like fucking faucets like all over the place. Like I would much rather have done that because then I know my shit's gonna be clean, rather
Mhm.
than like sending in like the amount of times. So before we got name tapes, because like we wouldn't get name tapes until I think it was like week 8, right? So you're
That's
there
the same
like
for
two
us.
months
Yeah,
before. Yeah,
we don't get
before
names.
you
We
get
get
your name.
numbers. Yeah, we're
Even
getting
numbers,
You
basically.
fucking concentration camps, dude.
No, yeah,
Numbers.
This was like. Here's the thing. So you know how we wear the patches on our shoulders, right? For like on our left shoulder, it's our current serving unit that we wear, and then if you go to combat, you wear a
Yeah.
combat patch on your right shoulder
Yeah,
under
yeah.
your flag. So for us,
Yeah.
in basic, you get a dot, like a colored dot that basically says within your company, that's the platoon you're in. So for mine, it was second, so we had a white dot, and then my name tape said 257. So I had to wear that on my name tape, and then once you get into graduation phase, which is the last week, then you get to wear your actual name tape, and you get to take that, you rip that off, the white dot or blue dot, red dot, whatever. You rip that off, and you put a U.S. Army patch to show that you're going to AIT, and you wear your beret. The beret is the dumbest fucking thing ever.
Dude, I
It's
fucking
so
hate
fucking
berets.
hot. It's so fucking hot. Like I was in South
So
Carolina.
glad we don't have
When
those.
I got mine.
Yeah.
But I mean, yeah, it looks kind of cool. You get a black beret. It shows all the other recruits that just showed up. Like I felt
Me.
so bad for the dudes
Me.
that were like week 1, and I'm like, bro, I ain't gotta wear your dumb, stupid camelback bullshit. I'm a fucking graduate. Fuck you, dude.
Nope,
Here's my
nope.
beret. Suck my dick.
Nah, dude.
I remember like once again going back to that drill instructor that like hated us. Like we came in like first place because it would be like, all right, you're part of a company, right? Like when you're going through training and all that. So like each platoon would like compete against each other. We came in first place, but like they always told us that we came in last place until we had like a company formation and they like told like what platoon got what. So
Yeah, they do the same shit
Shit with
but
us
they
at
would.
the end of training.
yeah, exactly. Yeah, so it's like literally like we had to wear like so like when you check into like Marine basic training, like they give you your camis, you have to wear the sneakers that they fucking give you, right? And
What's
like
up
you
with the
don't
sneaker
block
shit?
your boots. No, because it's just to make you look retarded. That's and feel retarded. So like I remember doing that. Like we were like, because like once you're all right, once you're like graduated, they can't do that because it's considered like hazing, right? Like fucking, you know what I mean? So like they try to fuck with you until the end, but I don't know. I had a pretty good like drill instructor for like what's our crucible is what they call it. So it's like that's like what their last thing you do before you like graduate.
Oh, that's our
Like
field.
boot
That's
camp.
our
FTX3 for us. We do 3 of those. FTX3 is our crucible,
Yeah.
basically.
Yeah, so you do like a basic warrior training, which is like a mini crucible, like a couple weeks beforehand, and then you do like the actual crucible. Which I mean, it's only like 54 hours. It's not bad at all.
Wait, 54
But-
hours?
Yeah, no. I mean, it
What
sucks because
What?
it's like you get no sleep at all. But like,
Yeah,
it's,
ours was 7 days.
I wish mine was
The
that
Army
fucking
has
short.
like a.
no,
What
no,
the
it's not bad.
fuck,
I'm
bro?
telling you. The only thing that sucks about it was like it was in the
Fucking
middle of
shit.
fucking. It was in like the middle of fucking January when I did it, and
Ours was December.
in South Carolina, yeah, in South Carolina, like you don't think it gets that fucking cold, but it
yeah,
it
no.
does.
When I did
Yeah.
my FTX3, it would be like, so I did mine at the beginning of December. When I did my
Yeah.
FTX3, and it would be like hot as shit during the day, and then at night it would freeze. I actually, so when we were digging
Mhm.
our foxholes, right, or not, our foxholes, we were digging those. We take shifts so that one of us can pull security because that's what we were told to do. And I actually fell asleep for like almost 2 hours. But my foxhole buddy, he didn't say anything about it. So I fell asleep and I woke up and I looked at my watch. I'm laying down on the ground using my assault pack or my rucksack as my fucking cover because we didn't have it yet. We were digging it. So I was laying there and I woke up and I looked at my watch, my wrist, and I'm like, oh fuck, I've been asleep for 2 hours. And I go to stand up and I'm stuck to the ground because it rains all the fucking time in South Carolina in the winter and the fall. But it froze overnight because it dropped below freezing. So I was frozen to the fucking ground.
Yeah, sucked.
And I ripped my chest hair off because it went through my uniform.
Yeah, no, it
sucked because it was like during the day, like it would be like nothing but mud and like water and shit. You know, like crawling through puddles.
Yeah.
And so you're like soaked, like all your camis are soaked, and then you would like hang them up at night, or I'd take them off. And then they would be like legit fucking waking up in the morning, putting them back on, and they're all sandy and fucking ice. That's the worst feeling in the world. Getting out of a fucking warm sleeping bag and putting that shit on.
Bro.
Oh my god.
We did that one time and we were in a fucking formation waiting for our first sergeant to come out and like explain to us what the fuck we were going to be doing. And like there's just one dude, like I think he was in Bravo company, I was Alpha, so he's way down the fucking line. And he's like, yo, why the fuck my uniform so fucking crunchy, bro? Why my uniform crunchy?
The funniest fucking thing I think I ever heard. I was going through infantry school, right? And we woke up. We did a night range the night before, right? So we had to wake up at like 4 a.m. And this was back in like, I don't know if you guys remember, like in like 2019 when like the whole fucking country was like 10 degrees, right?
Mm-hmm.
And fucking so it was like January of like 2019 or whatever. And we had to wake up at 4 a.m. to go police call, like clean up, like pick up fucking shell casings on the range, basically, that we did the night before. So we were all walking around in the pitch black, fucking flashlights, just looking around for fucking shell casings. And the buses didn't come, like transportation didn't come until like, I want to say like 4 in the afternoon. So for like most of the fucking day, we were literally just standing there waiting for them to come. And then like eventually like one of the sergeants comes over and he's like, all right, we're just gonna like, I'm just gonna ask some questions or like take some questions, like a Q&A session basically. And like literally some kid raises his hand. He's like, when these fucking buses coming? I just started dying laughing, dude. Like, no, like that's what we were all wanting to ask. And
wait, did you guys have a
night infiltration course?
What do you mean, like night infiltration? We did a fuckload of night shit.
So for us, it's we call it Nick at night because it's NIC, Nick, and it's at night. Night infiltration. It's just a dumb fucking meme
George
thing.
Lopez.
Yeah, so I think it was during FTX 2, which is our white phase. So that's weeks 4 through 6, I think, or 4 through 7, one of those. And we were just out doing FTX, and they got us all together. We formed up, and we just walked into the fucking forest. They don't tell us anything. I'm pretty sure you know, like, anytime you're going out to do something, they don't tell what you're going to do. You just do it.
Yeah, no, not at all.
So they start marching us out. So this is day 3 of FTX 2. And they just start marching us into the fucking woods. We can't see a fucking thing. We don't know where we're going. And then after a while, I start seeing these concrete walls on both sides of me. And I'm like, wait, what the fuck? Like, why where are we? What's this concrete bullshit? And then as we start going through through these walls, which are like fucking like 10 feet tall on both sides. And I start seeing like wood, like on the left wall, and there's ladders, right? And we get there, they tell us to, all halt, and we stop, and they tell us to left face. We all left face, and they say, everybody who's staring at a ladder, count down 7. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Those 7 get behind the one who's in front of a ladder. And we're like, what the fuck is going on? And I was the first one at a ladder, so I counted everybody, and they're all behind me. We're standing in a line, and they're like, everybody who's first in line, climb to the top of the ladder before your head gets to the top. Second person, stay right behind them. And we're like, okay. So I climb up there, and I can't see a fucking thing, and it's pouring rain, right? And I'm like, what the fuck is out here? I can't see a goddamn fucking thing. And then And then it's dead ass silent, and we're like whispering to each other, and you can hear people whispering, like, "Yo, what the fuck's going on?" Like, I don't know, dude. What the fuck? Like, what is that? A fucking ladder? That kind of shit. And I'm peeking over the corner, and then out of nowhere, my drill sergeant comes up to me, taps me on the shoulder, and he's like, "You ready?" And I'm like, "Oh, ready for what, drill sergeant?" He's like, "Are you ready?" And I'm like, "Yes, drill sergeant." He's like, "Cool." And then he puts up a flare gun in the air, and then launches it. And then I see the entire fucking field. There was 150 yards of barbed wire and mud in front of me at the top of the trench. And then as that flare goes off, fucking they're shooting live rounds over our fucking heads.
Yo.
And they start pushing us over the trench. And like there's just fucking machine gun fire and everybody's crawling, like freaking out. Like we didn't know what the fuck was going on. And my drill sergeant's grabbing me by the back of the helmet and yanking me over the top. And said, fucking crawl. And I'm just like, okay. So I start crawling. I get snagged on barbed wire. They're launching off fake fucking mortars. There's 4 240s shooting overhead. Like, if I'm laying flat on the ground, that's probably about 6 feet above me. And they said, don't stand up. Don't stand up. Don't stand up. And I'm like, fuck, okay. And I'm just like fucking crawling through this shit. And my fucking glasses are fogging up, and there's people yelling and shit, and there's fucking someone playing the fucking bagpipes.
What the Nah, dude, it was fucking wild, man. I remember when they were doing that shit. They were playing like the I recognized it. It was like the Saving Private Ryan like sound bites of like people screaming.
Yeah, dude.
Like
yeah,
on
dude,
D-Day.
There's fucking speakers that were playing like explosions and screaming, and it was so fucking loud. Like my ears were ringing, and I made it to the end. And I remember just crawling all the way. Like I just kept my head down, kept going. I got snagged on barbed wire a couple times, and then I made it to the end. And this sergeant, like he's not even from my fucking, he's just cadre, just grabbed me by the back of my vest, picks me up, and says, "Get the fuck to your platoon." And I'm like, "Okay."
No, dude, I remember we had this like obstacle course, which was like called Fallujah, and like during like our like Crucible, and fucking we did it on Christmas. So I remember my drill instructor just came over, and like we were already like it was like a solid like 8 inches of just like water. So like you're crawling through this shit. It's all sand and water, and it's like your pants are filling up. So like you fucking weigh like 60 pounds more because it's like water and sand in your fucking pants and shit. And I'm already pushing like no. I swear to God, they have weather machines, but like
rain makes it more fun. Whatever the fuck that means.
No, like fucking, like we're pushing, or I'm pushing, because everybody else is pushing like a 30-pound, like just like a normal like 5.56 fucking like ammo box, and fucking like the squad leaders, we all had to push like a fucking 70-pound 50 cal ammo box, and my drill instructor just comes over and he's like whispers while like all that shit's going off. There's like flares going off. There's like people screaming over the fucking speakers and shit. He goes, "Merry Christmas, squad leader," and he puts another fucking 50 cal box in front of me. So I had to go like, ugh, 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 like the whole fucking. It was like 500 yards, dude. It was far. It took like an hour. It was fucking rough.
What the fuck is on my hand? Well, that was weird. My hand glitched out for a second. Sorry.
Why do you get so quiet?
I don't know. But anyways,